Good morning. It is Sunday, February the 14th, and this is The Drill. Thank you very much. And this is the prayer of the day. I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. This is Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today. Happy Valentine's Day. So the first issue of the day is is to say, ha ha, Nasty Nancy. Nasty Nancy the Impeacher. There used to be a Romanian ruler named Vlad, and he was known as Vlad the Impaler, because he would get these sharpened sticks and impale his victims on them. And so this is Nasty Nancy, except she can't quite manage to get a conviction. Donald J. Trump was acquitted, as he should have been. This never should have been brought in the first place. It was clearly unconstitutional. And by the way, neither I nor anyone else in this country needs to hear from the Supreme Court to know with absolute certainty that what the Senate did was unconstitutional. I think in part Nasty Nancy brought this impeachment to set a precedent. Also, I think as a warning to Donald Trump, to Trump supporters, to other people that think they're Trump. Okay, so ha-ha to Nancy Pelosi. I think I'll put one on Twitter that has the one I like to do is no conviction for you, no conviction for you, no conviction, Nasty Nancy, no conviction for you. There you go. How about that? So the other thing I wanted to cover on this was right away, right after the conviction, then you had Nasty Nancy's work husband, Mitch McConnell, out saying nasty things about the former president. Not satisfied that the president of the United States or former president is the former president, that he's left office. No. He's got to pour salt in the wounds. We got ripped off in the election. Then we have our one of the best president that we've ever had having to put up with a faux impeachment. And then you've got Nasty Nancy's work husband, Mitch McConnell, outpouring salt in everybody's wounds, saying nasty things about the former president. So I'm just sincerely hoping that 75 million Americans remember that and remember where he stands. Okay, so that's the downside. Upside is that there are people, very few apparently, that have not only that are on the right side of this whole equation, but have the temerity to express that. There's a person in the, I think, House of Representatives there, and there's definitely Governor DeSantis. And so I think I may have touched on this yesterday. Did I do a second? I think I did a supplementary podcast yesterday. But Governor DeSantis is rumored to have told Joe, and I think I'm going to refer to him as just Joe from now on, in honor of Governor DeSantis. And if not, even if he didn't say this, then in honor of that spirit. But told Joe to fuck off. Called him Joe. And then Joe says, no, you'll address me as Mr. President. And supposedly DeSantis said, I will not. Go fuck yourself. And like I said, hero. He's the guy that I'm looking at for 2024, DeSantis. Was going to be Cruz, but Cruz has been a big disappointment lately, a real big disappointment. Cruz was, when on January 6th, He was with the rest of the wet chihuahuas shaking under his desk when his constituents decided to come into the chambers or whatever, come onto their property and do so, have the utter chutzpah to come onto their property without permission. And so where Cruz could have come out and met them. He had nothing to fear from anybody. Come out, stand up on somebody's desk, and you say, "I am Senator Cruz. If any of you have anything that you want to say, come talk to me. I'm right here." And that would have been a Trump moment, a Trump-esque moment that shows courage and leadership. But instead of doing that, not only did he show that he's a follower, he shows that he's a coward. And in Spanish, the word is cobarde. Since he's Cuban, maybe he understands that better than English. Cobarde. His dad was a brave man, but his son apparently didn't pick up that trait. So, anyway, so DeSantis is the guy I'm looking to for 2024. He's the guy that seems to have the requisite chutzpah, the requisite fire in the belly. That's true fire in the belly. You're going to tell the President of the United States to go fuck himself, and with good reason. That's showing fire in the belly. So good for him. And there are a few, and keep note of that. Also, we should all keep note of the 10 assholes that voted to convict. There's no basis on which to vote to convict. They knew it. So it was done for reasons other than, number one, the law, and number two, their conscience. Okay? Political reasons, just because they're feckless and cowardly, I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to psychoanalyze these boobs. They were wrong. I am outraged. I am indignant about their votes, and they will get nothing from me. Not a nickel, not a vote, nothing. They could be standing on the street panhandling, and I'll just walk right on by. So that's the worst of it, is when you have people like that go ahead and do the wrong things, and assuming that everybody's just going to go ahead and give them money and votes anyway, because the calculus is, well, who else are they going to vote for? Well, I think that President Trump has changed the political landscape in this country, and that there are going to be a whole lot of Trump-like people that are going to be running for office in the future. And those are the people I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking to those people to replace Murkowski and Collins and all those other 10 cowards and Mitt Romney. You've got to be kidding. And I got to wonder, why is it that Christians, and he's not actually a Christian, he's a cult member, but it's still along those lines. The Christians always think that the Christian thing to do is always the passive thing to do, the weak thing to do, the feeble thing to do. God is a mighty God. So is Jesus Christ. Okay, anybody that can put your soul in hell for all eternity is not somebody to be messed with. So why isn't it that Christians aren't expressing righteous outrage, righteous indignation? But it's always got to be passive, weak. Please don't hurt me. I'm going to go to a Muslim country like Turkey and spread the gospel. And then when they arrest me and put me in jail, then I'm going to call the government and say, "Please rescue me." I'm not going to pray to God. Instead, I'm going to call Uncle Sam. That doesn't sound like faith. But anyways, all of those 10 people, they get nothing from me. No votes. They get, as a friend of mine used to like to say, they get no nachos. They get no nachos. The other thing that I wanted to get to was the issue of judging people. The left always says don't judge, but what they really mean is Don't judge people based on their character. Judge them based on their personality. Judge them on whether or not they are likable, they're friendly, they're easy to talk to, easy to get along with. And so the left will lionize and treat with kid gloves. I don't know what word I'm looking for here. People that are like serial killers. Very serial killers, as long as they're pleasant and they smile and they're social, because that's the personality is about having good personalities, being a social person. And socialists believe that there's no problem that can't be solved by being social, by getting along with other people and having a smile on your face and a happy disposition. And to that end, Larry-Flynt died, and so I got to pray for his soul as a Christian, and pray to Jesus Christ that he leads Larry's soul to heaven and forgives his sins. But I don't know. I mean, if Larry hasn't done it himself, it doesn't look like there's much of a chance. But the point is, I'm not going to go around and talk about what a swell guy Larry-Flynt was. He was vicious. Okay, and I don't mean that today the word vicious is misused. It's used to indicate somebody that is angry or hostile, incredibly hostile, and that will cut and slash and burn and stuff. Vicious really means somebody that is perpetually engaged in vice. They gamble, they consort with prostitutes. I used to work in a place with coworkers and that were vicious. They were pleasant. They had great personalities. They smile and tell you a joke, but then they would light up a joint, or they would snort. Usually, they didn't even bother to snort coke. They would crush up crosstops, whites, speed, pills, and crush them up and cut lines and snort those instead, and consort with prostitutes, and on and on and on, engage in various forms of petty theft, strong-arm robbery. That's vicious. You're perpetually engaged in vice. You are vicious. And that's what Larry-Flynt was. He was a vicious man. He consorted with prostitutes. He encouraged people to consort with prostitutes. He encouraged promiscuity. He encouraged gambling. He had a gambling place in Southern California, at least one, the Hustler Casino. That's what it was called. I don't know exactly where it's located, and I don't care. But the point is that he was perpetually engaged in vice. Yet, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about what a vicious man he was, and nobody really ever put him on the spot. But John and Ken had him on their show a few times, and when he passed away and they found out about it, they said that he was a nice guy. That seems to be the catch-all these days. Somebody passes away and they say, oh, he was a nice guy. He was a really nice guy. Dogs get better send-offs than that. I mean, if you liked him, if you liked the fact that he was a vicious man who was perpetually using people for his own, saw people as a means to an end rather than an end in themselves, then say so. Come out and say, hey, yeah, I'm on his side. I think you should use everybody for your sexual satisfaction, or to get other types of thrills. We should be gambling. We should be consorting with prostitutes. Anyway, I can live with that. But this whole idea that, hey, he's a nice guy, he's got a pleasant personality, and you're going to let it slide at that is just crap. But it's exactly what the left wants us to do. And I heard that, again, from John and Ken. I also heard it from Tim Conway. Tim Conway came out and was saying he had a great sense of humor. Who cares? Who cares? Nobody goes to people that Mussolini, for instance. Mussolini was a brilliant man. He spoke 3 or 4 languages, and he ended up getting killed. He was killed by his own people and hung by his ankles in the town square because he was a thug. Okay, because character matters. And perhaps World War II was the last place where character really mattered. Now it's just personality. You got a pleasant personality, you can get away with almost anything. So, and then I was reminded again this morning, I'm listening to a little bit of the Jesse Jackson show, which is on the EIB network, which just blows my mind. I can't understand why Rush Limbaugh would have them on his network, but it's not my network, not my decision, but it still baffles me. But I'm listening to them, and they're talking about Larry-Flynt. And they were talking admiringly about him because of he was a friend of the Rainbow Push organization. I guess he gave money. So, and that's another thing where you can get away. You want to get away with something. You want to be a vicious person, constantly engaged in vice, breaking the law, breaking moral codes left and right. Give to progressive causes or so-called Crowleyist causes. Give to Rainbow Push. Give to whatever. Give to Planned Parenthood. And then when you die, you too can be called nice. Wow, what a nice guy. What a friend of the left he is. Good for him. He was vicious, and unless he repented before he died, he's going to hell. So, yeah, the point of this is that for the true conservative, we need to judge people based on their character. This is the way con artists operate, by the way. I mean, Larry-Flynt, for all intents and purposes, was a con artist. But con artists want you to look at their personality, and that they're pleasant and they're smiling and they're happy and patting you on the back with one hand and taking your wallet with another. They want you to disregard the fact that they're, in essence, a thief. Immoral. And so, as a true conservative, you need to judge people, and you need to judge them by their character. See how they respond. Are they reliable? Even that kind of thing. Forget about the fact that whether they're a thief or not. Most people aren't. But are they reliable? You could, in a manner of speaking, say they're thieves in other ways. If they're not reliable, they're not punctual, then they steal your time. That kind of thing. Are they willing to own up to their mistakes? When they screw up, do they say, you know what, I effed up, I apologize? Or do they try to just blow it off? Walk around pretending nothing happened? Or rationalizing their behavior? Or blaming somebody else using determinism? I'm sorry, but I can't help it. Kind of thing. Because those are the people, if you don't judge them by their character, you're just persuaded or carried away by their personality, their bright smile, and their cheerful attitude. They're going to end up hurting you in the long run and making your life miserable. Don't do it. Thank you. That concludes another episode of The Drill. Be honest, be smart, be beautiful. I'm Ron, and that's The Drill.